Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Let's Learn with AR. Since it's afternoon here, if you're watching this video at afternoon time, so good afternoon to you as well. Otherwise, good morning, good evening, whatever time you are watching this video. Today's topic is from post-colonial literature, and that is a poem Snakes by A.K Ramanujan, which is one of the best poems of A.K Ramanujan. And in this topic we will go through the poem translation as well as themes of the poem. So let's get started. No, it does not happen when I walk through the woods, but walking in museums of chords or the asses of book stacks, looking at their geometry without curves and the layers of transparency that make them opaque, dwelling on the yellower vein in the yellow umber, or touching a book that has gold on its spine, I think of snake. Well, in this poem, A.K. Ramanujan is talking about his childhood memory, where he faced the snake, and that time he got frightened. So, as I said, he is talking about his childhood, means he faced snake in his childhood. And in these lines, the poet says that, like the speaker states that, thinking about snake does not occur when they walk through the woods. Means he is not frightened of the snake when he walks through the woods. However, in places like museums or bookstores where they observe objects like cards and books with gold spines that are remind of snakes. So in this stanza, the poet is talking about objects. Objects are like books, okay, gold spines, bookstores, museums. Means he is afraid of objects. He is not afraid of woods. Woods means like forest. Well, the second stanza, the trails of their hisses rise like tiny dust cones on slow non roads, wending through the farmer's feet. Black lorgnettes are etched on their hoods, ridiculous alien like some terrible aunt, a crest among ties and scales that mold with the darkening half of every moon. So in this stanza, the poet is talking about, the speaker describes the hissing sound made by snakes. As you know that every animal has its own sound, either that is insects, either that is animals, so it has its own sound. Like the snake, so here the word like that is hisses. So the snake sound like a hissing, means comparing it to the rise of tiny dust cones on roads during slow afternoons. Here the poet is talking about noon time, means when the time is like 12 o'clock. They mention that the snake's hoods have etched black lorgnettes, which appear strange and alien. The snake's hoods are linked to a terrible aunt, and they shed their scales and tails during the darkening half of every noon or every moon. The third stanza, a basketball of little cobras comes into the tame little house. Their brown wheat glisten winged with ripples. They lick the room with their bodies, curves uncurving, writing a sibilant alphabet of panic. On my floor, mother gives them milk in saucers. She watched them suck and bear the black line design etched on the breast of the saucer. The snake man reads their writing round his neck for father smiling, money but I scream. So the third stanza is about, like the speaker describes a scene where a basketball of little cobras enters their house. The snakes have a brown, wet, glittering color with ripples. They move around the room. So here a complete scene has represented the scene of snakes where the poet is experiencing, the poet sees them. Living curved makes on the floor, which the speaker describes as a sibilant alphabets of panic. Means the snake takes out her tongue and that leaks everything. So the poet imagines that the snake is going to write something. Here, like the word alphabet has been mentioned here. So it means the poet thinks, the poet imagines that the tongue, when the snake takes out, so it shows that the snake is going to write something, means to write any alphabet, which the speaker describes as a sibilant alphabet of panic. The speaker's mother offers them milk in saucers, means the poet's mother. She gives milk to those snakes, and the snakes lick the saucers, revealing the black line design etched on the breast. The snake charmer then wraps the snakes around his neck in exchange for money from the speaker's father. However, the speaker screams in fear. Means here the speaker is poet. The speaker mother is not afraid of snakes. The speaker father is not afraid of snake. Even the poets, the speaker father enjoys when the mother of the speaker gives milk to the snakes. Means the father enjoys, the mother also enjoys, but the poet or the speaker is frightened. Sister ties her breasts with a knot of tassel, but the wave of her knee long braid has scales, their glimmering held by score of clean new pins. I look till I see her hair again. In this stanza, the speaker observes their sister tying her hair with a tassel. Like in the previous stanza, we talked about the speaker's mother, the speaker's father, and in this stanza, we are talking about the speaker's sister. She is tying her hair with a tassel. They notice that her braided hair resembles snake, means the poet or the speaker is imagining. He thinks that it gives the resemblance of snake, means that the hairs of the speaker's sister gives the resemblance of snake, with the scales held in place by new pins. The speaker continues to lick until they can clearly see her hair. My night full of ghosts from a sadness. In a play, my left foot listens to my right footfall. A clockwork licking in the silence. Within my walking, the clock should hail suddenly strikes and slashes on a snake. I see him turn, the green white of his belly, mired by blush notes, a water-bleached lotus stalk, plucked by a landsman's hand, yet panic rushes. My body to my feet, my swims ring and drain his fair and mine. I leave him sealed, a flat head whiteness of a stain. So these lines represents like the speaker reflects on their night full of hunting memories and the sorrow experienced in a play or in a poem. Means the poet is experiencing that scene where he faced the snake. He's not sleeping. Why? Because in dreams he sees the snakes. That is why he's frightened. They mention the rhythm of their footsteps, with the left foot listening to the right footfall. like a clockwork mechanism. Suddenly, the hail of the speaker's show strikes and slushes on a snake. The speaker vividly observes the snake turning, noting the color of its belly. Now, uh, the speaker also notices the color of the snake belly, and which is greenish white. The color is what? Green and white, and marked by blush nodes. They compare the snake to a water bleached lotus stalk plucked by someone on land. Despite their own fear and panic, the speaker's specimens drain the fear of both themselves and the snake. The speaker leaves the snake on the ground, sealed and appearing as a flayed head whiteness on a string. And these lines, like the last stanza, that is, now frogs can hope upon his sausage roof, flies in the sun will mope the look in his eyes, and I can walk through the woods. This is the last stanza of the poem, and this stanza represents, like in this stanza, the speaker reflects on the consequences of snake being left on a ground. They mention that now other creatures like frogs can hope upon the snake's body. Why? Because snake is dead. Snake is no more. Using the imagery of a sausage roll, flies will gather around the snake's eyes in the sunlight. Here, two creatures are mentioned. The first one is frog, and the second one is flies. Frogs will come and they will eat the snakes, and the second creature, that is flies. Flies will gather around the snake's eyes in the sunlight. The speaker concludes with a newfound confidence, stating that they can now walk through the woods without fear. So the poem ends here, leaving the reader with a sense of closure and the transformation of the speaker's fear into a newfound freedom. So this was the translation. I tried my best, and if you have any question regarding this poem, so you can freely ask in comment section. And if we talk about its theme, the first theme is, that is, fear and panic. One of the prominent themes in the poem is fear and panic, particularly associated with snakes. The speaker experiences a deep sense of fear when encountering snakes, as seen in their reactions and screams. The hissing sound, the writing movements, and the imagery of snakes leave a lasting impact on panic throughout the poem. The second one is the second theme, that is nature and human world. The poem also explores the intersection between the natural world and the human world. It juxtaposes the serenity of walking through the woods with the unsettling presence of snakes in everyday settings like museums and homes. The contrast between the peacefulness of nature and the intrusion of snakes highlights the complex relationship between humans and the natural world. And the third theme, that is transformation and metamorphosis. The shedding of snake skin and the transformative nature of snake symbolizes change and metamorphosis. The speaker observes the snake shedding their scales and hoods, emphasizing the cyclical and transformative aspects of life. Additionally, the speaker's own transformation from fear to empowerment reflects a personal journey of growth. So it's just like when you are child, when you are in your childhood, so you are innocent, you fear of each and everything. But when you get adult, or when you are adult, so these fears automatically disappears, automatically vanishes. So the same, the poet is also now, this was his personal journey of growth. Symbolism. A symbolism question can be asked from you. So here is a symbolism also. The use of snakes in the poem carries symbolic significance. What does the snake? The snake is associated with danger, fear, and temptation in various cultural and mythological contexts. In this poem, they represent the unknown, the mysterious, and the potential threat lurking beneath the surface. The snakes serve as a metaphorical vehicle to explore deeper emotions and the human response to fear. And the fifth theme, that is family and relationships. It's easy, and the whole poem, you have seen that we have discussed like the speaker's mother, the speaker father, the speaker's sister. So they were also mentioned. They had their own role in the poem. So it's easy theme. And this last one, that is human vulnerability. The poem also explores the vulnerability of human beings in the face of fear and the unknown. The speaker's reactions, including screaming and panicking. Why the speaker or the poet screams? Because he was a child, highlighting the fragility of human emotions and the instinctual response to perceived threats. The vulnerability of both the speaker and the snake becomes intervened, suggesting a shared sense of fear and mortality. So this was all about today's. I hope this video has been helpful for you. If this video has sparked your interest, I suggest you to like, share, comment, and do subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.